This is viewer-supported television in Boston, WGBH-TV, Channel 2.
Funding for this program was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. America at Thanksgiving 1980 will sweep across this country via satellite to show you holiday celebrations, both traditional and untraditional. We'll visit Americans in Boston, San Francisco, Tallahassee, Nevada, and Wahoo, Nebraska.
Eastern people are the people of the first light. We have the responsibility of greeting each and every new day as it comes. Watch it, the sunrise over the great ocean. We can give thanks to the earth, the sky, and the water as they meet together here in this place. Thanks to our Mother the Earth for the life that it gives to us. All the plant life, the animal beings, our relations. We give thanks for all these things each and every day. To the great waters, the ocean, rivers, lakes. We give thanks to these for the life they provide. Fish, we give thanks for the birds we have here gathered with us. We give thanks to them also. They have their purpose. We may not understand all the purposes of all things in life. It's not for us to understand necessarily. It's just here. We give thanks for all things, Great Spirit. We give thanks for our older people who teach us the ways of our ancestors and tell us to carry these things on and to teach them to the younger people as they come about. We pray that we can carry on the responsibility of carrying on these teachings that came originally from the Creator a long time ago. We thank you for the seasons that we're given, different patterns of weather that we have, the clouds, the winds, stars, and all things that we have here. We thank the Creator for these things because they're meant to teach us and to provide us with life. We pray that we can be thankful for these things, and we can teach our people to be thankful for these things, so that in proper time, these things can be respected for what they are, can be used for what their purpose is, not wasted, so that these things can be left for the younger generation to come, that they can have these things unspoiled by us, and they can carry on their lives like we have, and pass it on to their younger people, as was planned. Great Spirit, Creator, we want to thank you for the sacred ceremonies we've been given, the ways that we've been able to greet the sun and learn to respect the ways that you have put about here to make us a part of this universe. We pray that we can carry on our part to do what you have planned for us to do, that we can keep our pride down and learn to respect the ways of others, learn to respect other lives, the lives of the plants and animals that live about us, the life of the earth itself, the life of the waters. Without these things, there will be no life. If we don't take care of them, if we don't use them the proper way, we won't have them anymore. And there won't be anything left. Thank you for the coming winter. She's a purifier. Time for the earth to sleep and to regain back its energy.
Here in the control room of WETA in Washington, D.C. is our host, Art Buchwald.
Hi, I'm Art Buchwald, and welcome to America at Thanksgiving 1980. I'm in Washington, D.C. in the control room of WETA. I'm really not supposed to be here. They asked me yesterday to do this, so I really don't know what I'm up to doing, and if I make any mistakes, you're going to have to bear with me. From here on, we're going to travel instantaneously to 6 different locations in the United States. Behind me, these television sets show us what is going on right now in each location. This is Boston. Here is Tallahassee. We also have Nevada, San Francisco, Hamilton, Massachusetts, and Wahoo, Nebraska. In each place, a television production team is sending a TV signal to us via Westar satellite. The producers and directors here in Washington will decide moment by moment what we'll see next. Most television we see now is pre-recorded and edited, but that wasn't always so. Back in the 50s, most television was live. So this isn't revolutionary. We're reviving a television tradition, and traditions are what Thanksgiving is all about. But we're using the technologies of satellites and computers with a different aim. Instead of showing you a major news or sports event, America Thanksgiving is going to show you people like you and me, because people and families are what Thanksgiving's all about. Most of the people who came here, from the Pilgrims to the Spaniards, had a deeply rooted sense of family traditions, but their traditions were all different. These differences still exist, so by speaking of tradition, we really mean traditions. No one is born alone. A newborn baby would not survive on its own. Now, with the tensions and uncertainties of modern life, we've never needed our families more. Yet old notions of family life don't seem to work for a lot of people. This program will look in on traditional families and a few alternative families as they celebrate the holiday. So stay tuned to America Thanksgiving 1980. Remember, everything is being beamed to you via satellite, right as it happens. So there may be some surprises for all of us, including me. Well, I think it's time to introduce some of our locations. So let's take a look at this television set behind me. The fox hunt. A short drive north of Boston. This rural New England town is inhabited by the descendants of the Pilgrims and the original settlers. The weather isn't chilling. The spirits of the crowds gathered here for the traditional Thanksgiving Day for Fox Hunt, which has been held every year by the Myopia Hunt Club for the past century. The biggest hunt of the year, this event is a favorite of both riders and spectators. Many riders and some historians believe that the original Thanksgiving meal was a hunt breakfast. We're looking for Neil Ayer, Joint Master of the Foxhounds, who has led the ride for the last 11 years. His title confers both privileges and duties. He leads the hunt, which is considered a great honor. It is his responsibility to see that the hounds don't get lost and get permission for the hunt to go through any farmland they want to go through. And if they don't get permission, they're going to get shot. Assembling now and meeting all the riders in today's hunt, the gathering isn't haphazard. The participants ride in a predetermined order throughout the chase. Ayer leads the 2-hour chase. Following him are the field masters and the huntsmen, the whippers in, riders who circle the hounds to keep them together. But, and this is very important, this is a fox hunt without a fox. An artificially scented cloth called a drag was dragged through the woods this morning to create a course for the hounds and riders to follow. And so, don't write to us because they're not really going to kill a fox.
Stand by, Boston. We're going to return to the Bibles. Boston.
And now we need some new text here.
Okay.
The tradition of fox hunting?
Okay, well, you can tell them it all. Go ahead.
The tradition of fox hunting, goes back to Charlemagne in the Middle Ages. And the love of the chase has been with us since we were in caves. Sky, speed, and the great outdoors are also elements for our next location. Although a gas station on the outskirts of Boston might not seem like a likely place to serve Thanksgiving dinner, you might be surprised to learn that the family life of a motorcycle club is quite old-fashioned. Here are the menfolk of the Last Gas Motorcycle Club, led by Colorado Sky. Later, we'll drop in on the kitchen in that gas station to chat with some of the ladies and then go on a motorcycle tour of Boston. Still and vast, the Nebraska sky and land.
Not at Nebraska yet.
Oh, we're not at Nebraska yet.
Take the two.
We're having a little trouble with Nebraska.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're having trouble getting the Boston feed in, right?
Oh. So,
It's coming in 10 seconds. It's just the microwave.
are we waiting for Nebraska or Boston?
Boston, and it's right behind you. You can see it. If you look at it.
Okay,
Put one on the line, please.
Last gas minute.
okay.
They're coming along any moment. We're just going to have to wait.
We're waiting for the Last Gas Motorcycle
Here
Club.
they come. You can see on the monitor behind you.
Here comes the Last Gas Motorcycle Club, and they're on their way to their Thanksgiving dinner, I think. You might be surprised to learn that the family life of the motorcycle club is quite old-fashioned. And they do celebrate our traditions in their own way. And we're going to go in a little while and see the ladies of the club, I guess it's a male chauvinist idea, cooking them their dinner. And this is the gas station where they're having their dinner.
That goddamn thing burned out 2 weeks ago, and I haven't thrown it away yet. Where's the rest of the crazy? There's the light. Stopped at the light. What is this shit? What the hell are we paying these police officers for? He's standing around looking good. He's uglier than I am. All right, thank you much, Chicky.
After we leave the motorcycle club, we go to the vast, beautiful blue skies of Nebraska. Miles of highway, acres and acres of fertile farmland covering distances by hoof, by wheel, and by eye.
Fine. Good to see you. Happy holidays, and welcome to
on a cold, windy day here in eastern Nebraska. This is Bernil Eklund, who along with his son Mark owns and operates this livestock and feed grain farm in eastern Nebraska near the town of Mead. Mead is about 30 miles west of Omaha. And by the way, that's Mark that you're seeing now out in the fields. He's in the fields east of here checking on some of the Eklund's cattle before going in for Thanksgiving dinner. Later on in the program, of course, we'll have a chance to talk with Mark and his wife, Tony. But first, Bernie, I want to turn our attention to the farm here and show the people who are watching some of what a Nebraska livestock and feed grain operation is all about. And I know that the livestock are really, the cattle are the backbone of the operation, aren't they?
That's right. We've always had cattle for the last 25 years. We're located here in the Todd Valley, right on the east edge of the Todd Valley, and it runs about 8 miles west here and as long as Nebraska. It's the old Platte River bottom. Very fertile soil.
Tell us some about how many cattle you raise here, how many feedlots there are, and so forth.
We have a diversified operation. We have a capacity of 1,000 head, and we're running 5 lots right now. We back our operation with wintering calves and carry some of them on to slaughter here right on through, full feed them, and then we take and run a lot of cows in the cornfields to clean up the cornfields in the fall.
Let's talk about for a minute, back up, and what do you feed them? This was the feed wagon that we saw you on coming at the beginning of the program, and just what is it that you feed them?
Well, this lot that you just saw is cattle out of Montana. They're cows that come out of a very dry area. They're real thin in flesh, and we're feeding them a ration of corn stalks and corn silage.
And the ones out in the field, how come there's some out in the fields, grazing out in the fields?
Well, old cows are the best ones to pick up the corn that falls off. We had a lot of problem this year with ear droppage, and if we don't get the corn cleaned up, why, then it's the worst weed we can have in our fields next year. It cuts our yields terrifically. So these cattle are run out here up into the month of February to clean up the corn.
And one thing about the weight that you bring them in at, on the average, a steer or a cow is brought in at what weight, and then at what weight do you feed them up to, and how long does that take?
Cows are brought in at a weight from 800 to 900 on the thin side, and they are carried
800 to 900 pounds?
800 to 900 pounds, and they are carried up to 1050, and then they go on to slaughter.
And how long does it take to get them that fat?
About 60 days.
Okay, and the steers, the males, how long does that take?
The steers, most of the time we carry, if we run yearlings, it'll take 180 days. They'll come in at 700 pounds and go out at 11.
Okay, why a feedlot? I know that some people, when they first come to Nebraska, wonder why some are in feedlots, some are out on grass. Why not plant some of your land in hay or grass and just turn them loose out in the fields?
The land in this section of Nebraska is too valuable to run cattle on. You can't get enough return per acre. So this year we're diversifying our operation a little bit more, and we're purchasing and wintering calves in the sandhills on dry hay, leave them on the ranch, and then they will go on to grass, and they will be delivered to the farm next September for fattening. And the reason we have feedlot in conjunction with the farm is it's a market for our corn.
I see. So you grow the corn that you feed to the cattle?
Right. And we grow the alfalfa, and we also grow the corn silage, so we completely market our crop through cattle.
Got to ask you one other thing. Do you sometimes get sad to see that, you know, spend 180 days feeding these steers, and do you get sad sometimes to see them go off to the slaughterhouse? Do you get kind of attached to them?
We get attached to all cattle. You have to like cattle to work around them, and it's fun to watch them grow, and the better care you take them, the more they respond. So you bet you get attached to them, and it's hard to let them go after you've had them for 6 months. They're just like the family pet. But when the phone rings and the banker says, hey, your note's due, it changes your whole opinion, and away they go.
Livestock's only one part of the operation. We've mentioned feed grain is the other part. When you say you grow feed grain, what do you actually mean? That's just corn, right?
Corn, and we're about a 50-50 on our row crop here. We farm 800 acres, and we'll have about 400 to 500 acres of corn and a couple of hundred acres of soybeans and alfalfa. The soybeans are cash crop, the corn we feed, and the alfalfa we feed.
On the corn, how much corn do you grow per acre?
Well, the last 4 years has been real tough. We've had, out of 5 years, we've had 4 down years and 1 exceptional year. This year, we had so much heat here in the middle of the summer that we had trouble with the corn pollinating and drought. And our dryland corn in this area averaged from 2 bushel an acre on second-year corn that was dryland to our irrigated corn went 125 to 130.
I want to touch briefly on that fact that you do grow a lot of irrigated corn. You haven't a big, what we call a center pivot irrigation system out here, and I don't think many people have ever seen that, and I know we can get a shot of it from one of our cameras. Tell us what that center pivot irrigation system's all about.
The center pivot that you're looking at was purchased in 1970, and it is the ultimate in irrigation. It is the only way to go. It's a labor saver, it's expensive. The pivot and the well and the pump will run approximately $50,000.
Wow, that's an investment.
That is a big investment.
But that pumps how much water, and why is that so good?
Our wells here, we have 3 pivot systems and a tow line system, and we are pumping 1,000 gallons a minute through our pivots.
And that pivot, what it actually does is it revolves around a central well. Is that correct? And there's sprinklers on top of that bar,
yes,
right?
It actually pivots a farm. It's centered right in the middle, and it's electrically driven, and it walks around the farm, and it takes up to 48 hours as fast as you can go. But when we circle a farm for irrigation, we'll usually do it in about 7 days.
We've only got a little bit of time left, and while we walk, I want to walk over to some of the machinery here. While we're walking over there, we were talking about the investment, you know, that you have, for instance, in the center pivot of $50,000. How much of an investment in the cattle do you have? How much do they cost you each to bring in?
This varies on what they weigh, but on the average, we haven't invested between $300,000 and $500,000 in cattle.
Okay, now, talking about investment, this is one of the big machines that you see on a farm. This is a combine. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Bernie?
Yes, this is a must for a grain farmer, and inflation has tore up farming like every other business. This machine here happens to be 5 years old, and when I purchased it, it cost $28,000. To replace that machine today will cost in the neighborhood of $57,000.
Geez, costs have gone up on the farm.
Terrific.
Let me, and for the people who don't know, let me just add that this is the machine that's essential for harvesting.
One blessing that remains uncounted on Thanksgiving is the sense of home and the love of family. In San Francisco, Edgewood Children's Home has invited the kids' parents here for Thanksgiving dinner in its continuing effort to reunite families. This morning, the kids are working with the San Francisco Dance Theater as their parents are arriving.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
How are you? How are you doing?
Fine. You want to sit on my shoulder? Okay, you got to jump real high, okay? And stick out your buns. And up! Yes! Now let me hold your hand.
I'm going to get her a drink of water.
Yay!
There. And this arm way overhead. That arm way, that's nice. Look at mommy one too, okay? Oh, yes, how about a grunge How about a grunge with,
Okay, you want to grunge say we'll go back up and we'll go this way.
Okay, watch out. They're kind of across center, I guess, huh?
All right, hold on. Wait, really arch back together, okay?
He can't hear me.
Jump with you.
Oh, sorry. Like this, yeah, you'll step. Don't wait for Jerome. You do it and he'll pick you up. That's
okay, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
She wants to try. Bow.
She wants to try.
You want to try? Come on. I'll hold you.
Okay. Let's all give a big hand to the San Francisco Dance Theater Company. I want to welcome you all to the first of what we hope is a new, long tradition of Thanksgiving at Edgewood. I want to thank you all very much for coming here and sharing our Thanksgiving with us today. I would like to invite you all to chime in and say a few words about what it means for you to be here to share your Thanksgiving with us. Anybody want to begin? Bonnie? You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to hear.
Go ahead.
It's nice to have a Thanksgiving party like this.
Is that?
Meet your different people's parents.
That's really nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice to meet the other kids' parents. Okay, anybody else?
I think it's a pleasure to be here and be able to have my son here and to meet all the other children.
Very good.
They extend love and they accept love.
Very good, Bonnie. Thank you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
Oh. Okay, this is Art Buchwald speaking from Washington. Can you hear me, Mr. Bailey?
Yes, I can.
Hey, that's great. I'm not too clear about this Thanksgiving here. These are the children that couldn't go home for Thanksgiving, so you're having the Thanksgiving party there. Is that the idea?
Yeah, the idea is to have a Thanksgiving party to involve the parents in the program in a way that's a little different from the way we usually do. And we're really glad to see the turnout. We've got a lot of parents here today, and we hope it's the beginning of a new tradition at Edgewood. Edgewood has been here for a long, long time, and this is sort of a new tradition. We work on ways of involving families more and more in the work with the children here.
And the families have, how many families showed up today? Could you tell me?
Oh, what do we have, about seven families? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 7 families here today.
And when do you start carving the turkey?
We'll start carving the turkey about 1:45, I think.
Well,
That should be about right.
Well, we were delighted to have you, and we're going to come back to you later and talk to you a little.
Well, I'm delighted to talk to you, Art.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
And I'd like to hear from one of the kids. They're laughing. I'd like to hear from one of them if they like something to say about what Thanksgiving means to them.
Okay,
Can we get
let's
one
have
of
one
them?
of the Can we have one of the kids say about what Thanksgiving means to them?
Come on,
Kelly?
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, Kelly.
Come on, Kelly.
What it means to me is because it's nice to know that we can have this food because God gave this food to us. And he gave it to us because he wanted us to live. And then the reason why we have Thanksgiving is the pilgrims lived in the snow and rain so long that they thanked God for letting them survive. And they had the food, they put it all together, they named it Thanksgiving. That's the first day when Thanksgiving started.
Well, that's wonderful. And that's a beautiful explanation and probably as good as we're going to hear today. Thank you, Kelly.
Very good.
We had something planned in Las Vegas, but obviously we had to change those plans, and the producer, Leslie Schatz, will explain to you what we've done.
Originally, we planned to be at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, but due to the fire that occurred there last week, we had to cancel our plans to produce a live segment there. We understand that a heroic effort is underway on the part of the community and the state to aid and assist the victims of the tragedy. And to those dedicated people, we thank you very much.
Okay. And now we go to Nevada.
Well, while most people are relaxing and spending their holidays at home with their families, there are those who have to work. And I guess some of the people that we owe quite a bit to are the ones that are manning our naval and Air Force and Army posts around the world, because if they weren't working today, we might not be able to sit down and have Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to go to Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. This day is no different than any other for the thousands of uniformed and civilian staff of the 474th Tactical Fighter Wing based here. And they have to be on a moment's notice. They can't leave. I guess some of them have gone home for Thanksgiving, but there are enough of them standing by to fly missions in the North Atlantic and Pacific theaters in case there's a problem. And we're going to find out at Nellis what they're cooking up there besides airplanes. And we'll probably go to the kitchen, and maybe we'll talk to the commander and find out if it's safe for you to sit down today and have your Thanksgiving dinner. We'll see the staff prepare the meal, and we will also talk to some of the kids who may have been away from home for the first time. This is the choir of the Greater Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church in Tallahassee, Florida.
Jesus, oh, he blessed me once. And then he blessed me twice. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad for the privilege, oh, to tell somebody. You know what? He's been blessing me all the day of my life. And I want to say thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Made a way for me so many times. Thank you. And I want to thank you, Lord. You know, I can remember the time when I was down to my very last dime. I went to my friends, oh, but I couldn't find nobody. But you know what? Jesus stepped right in on time. And I want to say thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Made a way for me so many times. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, yeah. I just want to man. You know what? He's been blessing me all the days of my life. And I want to say thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Lord, you made a way for me.
David, and anytime. Go.
This is Art Buchwald again. The Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock in 1612. Since then, Americans have celebrated Thanksgiving in one way or another. The original gathering of 12 Pilgrims and 40 Native Americans lasted over a week. Besides the feasting and general merriment, there were diversions like musket practice in the backwoods. Now we all gather around the table eating turkey for Thanksgiving. Or do we? As traditions are redefined in each decade, it's hard to say what's customary as our workplaces, our schools, and even our homes become impersonal tradition in all its forms. And it becomes important that we follow these traditions. During our upcoming visits, we'll catch people as they celebrate or create their own Thanksgiving Day traditions, all as distinct as they are distinct geographically. In Hamilton, Massachusetts, we'll return to the riders and hounds of Myopia Hunt Club. Neil Eyre, joint master of the hounds, will loose the hounds on the trail of the fox scent. Some of the activities we'll see today are outlets for basic human aggressions. As an outlet, you can't beat galloping through the wintry woods after a wild beast in the olden days. The purpose of the hunt was to catch food, and the purpose of the feast was to gorge yourself. Wild boars, venison, and hare were the usual game, all meatier than the fox. The hunt was turned into a sport when the fox became the quarry. Since foxes preyed upon farmers' livestock, hunting became a community service. We'll follow the riders at key points along the way and join them afterwards at their post-hunt party. We're going to go back now to the Last Gas Motorcycle Club and meet their leader, Colorado Sky. Can you talk to us a moment, Colorado?
Yeah, I'm hooked up. I'm ready to go. How you doing?
Okay, Colorado, where'd you get the name?
What name? My name or
Yeah, your name. No, your name.
My name come through from a couple of different people at a couple of different times, a whole lot of miles apart. And when I came back to Massachusetts to separate me from another guy named Sky, I became Colorado Sky, and he was California Sky, and there was the two of us.
Well, who are those other people with you? Can you tell us who they are?
I sure can. Over here in the back corner is my illustrious Vice President, right over this way. The guy, wave, dude, wave. That's him. Hey. Yeah, that's Cliffy, my Vice President.
Yeah.
The best that anybody could ever have. If Jimmy Carter had had him, he'd still be in the White House.
Yeah.
Over around the other way here, where's Squash? Where's Squash? Squash, yeah, it is Squash, my Secretary Treasurer. Where is he? He's over there.
You're very well organized.
Well, we try, you know. My wife Terry is here somewhere, right behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, here she is, my wife Terry, and my 5.5-month-old daughter Rat.
That's great. Is this the first Thanksgiving you ever had at the garage?
This is the first big one where we've ever gotten our act together enough to get everybody together to feed him at the same time.
Well, what did you do? Are you bringing the stuff in, or are you cooking it in the back of the garage?
No, most of it was cooked at home. I got to hand it to the ladies' auxiliary, which is...
Ladies' auxiliary? I don't believe that, Colorado.
Yeah, that's my wife and Cliff's wife and Bender's old lady, who all got together. It's Terry and Lucy and Yvette, and put on a spectacular feed that we're going to sit down and chow down on real quick.
Where are you going to sit?
Around the table. You know, just like the real Americans do. Huh?
Yeah, and what, is the menu going to be any different than you would have at anywhere else?
Yeah, we got no cheeseburgers. Wait a minute. I come unplugged. I'll be right with you. Okay, yeah, we got the turkey. Everybody out the way. Here it comes. Up comes dinner. There you go, guys. All right.
That is fantastic.
Look at that.
I want you to know, Colorado, that they don't even have that at the Hunt Club in Myopia, a table like that. That is probably one of the most sensational tables in the United States to have a Thanksgiving dinner on.
Well, we have a saying here: when you haven't got what you need, you make do with what you got.
Right. Whose garage is it?
And this is it. This is Jack out east. He's Jack. That's Jack. Hang on. Hold on for Jack. Jack's out pumping gas. Now here he is, Jack. Hey, let's have a hand for the man. Yeah. There he is. This is the dude here. This is the man's crib, who so nicely allowed us to come in here and camp out. And of course we got to feed him, but that's no big deal.
Is it?
You know, clean the place up and don't shoot his windows out, and we'll all get along real fine.
How do you feel about it, Jack? Are you happy about it?
Very good.
Well, that's great. We'd like a look at the baby. Where's the baby?
Oh, which one?
Well, we saw a beautiful baby there somewhere.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, here she is.
She's going to count on her cookie here.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Colorado Sky, and we think you're going to have a sensational Thanksgiving, and we're glad that all your families could get together for it.
Well, we sure hope so. It's been real good talking to you, and we'll be back to you real quick.
Okay.
Talking at you.
Thank you.
Righto. Bye now.
Reverend, where are we?
All right, now, take the two, please. Okay. We've lost one of our feeds for a moment. So Kim will come in and explain for a second what's gone on.
Oh, I'd like to know why we're losing these feeds all the time, because I don't understand it myself.
Well, here we have a fancy little description right here. Now, can you see that out there? This is how we are getting to you, and you are getting to them.
Right.
This is the Westar satellite. It's about the size of a refrigerator, and it's about 22,000 miles over the equator.
All right, and what happens?
Well, from a satellite dish in Boston, Colorado Sky was being beamed up to the satellite, and it was coming back down here to Washington, into our studio, then going back up against on another satellite to all of the 270 public television stations, and into your homes.
And so, is there a man up there? Or is there a man up there? Is he giving up his Thanksgiving to be there?
Got me up.
And so, what happens when we lost one? What happened on that beam?
Well, part of it's just a matter of our communications with them. We still have to use telephone lines to get the audio back and forth.
Well, you see, thanks to science, you can now watch Colorado Sky have Thanksgiving dinner in Boston which has never been shown on television before. So the whole communication system is worth it, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let's ask Josh.
Did we get anything back yet?
Take it too, please.
Huh?
I don't know, but just keep talking about.
Oh, keep talking about satellites now.
Well, I can talk about
All
satellites
right.
for a long time. We've been working on a year to put this thing together, and PBS has 3 whole satellite systems that they have to get their programs out to the stations around the country.
Well, isn't it true that what we're going to try later, and I think this would be something that would be kind of fun, is have the different people at the various places actually talk to each other and have the people in Boston talk to the people in Tallahassee and have the ones in Tallahassee talk to somebody. I think that'd be kind of fun if they could ask each other questions, because they may never get a chance to talk to these people again.
It may be possible, and it looks like we've got Nebraska.
Nebraska has come in on the satellite. Okay, so here we are in Nebraska on a farm, and
Look that way.
the family is just arriving for Thanksgiving dinner. Are these the Poschels?
These are Eklunds.
These are the Eklunds. And there's Pa, Ma, Mark, Tony, and Brooke, wherever they are.
Got it.
And they're going to the Poschels. Is that what's happening?
To the parent Eklund.
They're going to the parent Eklunds. Okay. And they obviously are having a different kind of Thanksgiving than the one we just saw. But I guess it all means the same thing. Families and babies. We saw babies with the motorcycle club. And we're going to see babies now. I don't know.
Oh, great. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. That's good. Very good. Are Mark and Nancy coming?
Here they go.
Hi, Nan. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Mark, it's good to see you.
Oh, it's good to miss you this week.
Oh, we're all right.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you guys come.
Hi, Tony. How you doing?
Just fine.
Oh.
Hi.
Here, Grandma. Do I take my coat off?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Hi, Brooke.
The room in the fridge, excuse me.
Sure. Just go ahead and put it in there.
Well, good week. Busy.
Yeah, let me take your coat.
Okay. The whole works comes up.
Brooke, you're growing
Right.
so big.
Good deal.
I put it over here.
Turn around, Nancy.
Can I have a pair? Come on.
Finally time.
Right. Why, I think we have a good menu today.
There, Grandma, you want Brooke?
How's my sweetheart? Did you see Aunt Nan there? Yeah. Uncle Mark? Where's Aunt Beth? Huh? Where's Aunt Beth? Hooray! Here's Aunt Beth. Yeah. Oh, hi.
Hi, ma'am. How are ya?
Aunt Nan?
We're just getting out of the mountain. Go.
Now we're going to Tallahassee to the home of Johnny May Leonard, where I hope we can meet the Proctor clan.
There they are in Florida. I can see them. They're right behind you on the center monitor box.
There
they are.
They're the Proctors, Ruthie Lee, George, and then the Leonards, Johnny May,
Is all through to it?
and I don't see the rest of them.
I'm Johnny May Leonard, my cousin Ernest Proctor, and Eunice, my cousin Eunice Edward, my daughter, Eunice Sales, and my granddaughter, Jacqueline Stevens, and my great-grand. I'm Antonio Proctor, fourth generation. Ernest and Eunice is their fourth generation. And my daughter is the fifth generation. My granddaughter is the sixth generation. And this is my great-grand, it's the seventh generation.
Well, that's a fabulous family you have there. How long have you been meeting every Thanksgiving for a long, long time, the Proctors?
Yes.
How long, how many, I understand from my card that the Proctors have a very fascinating story how your great-grandparents obtained their freedom from slavery. Could you give it to us? Tell us about it.
Well, in 1839, George Proctor was married to Nancy Channel, a slave whom he purchased from Mary Channel for $1,300. He paid her $450 cash and mortgaged Nancy as a security on his note for the remaining $850 due in 12 months, which he could not pay. So his wife and children were sold back into slavery.
They were sold back into slavery. And how did the family wind up in Florida, the Proctors?
Well, Antonio came from the Bahamas to Florida.
And that's where he was?
In the early 1800s.
And is most of the family still in Florida, or have they spread all over the country now?
Well, quite a few of them is still in Florida.
Well, could we hear from a few of the others? Does any of the others want to talk to us about what it's like to meet on Thanksgiving in such a large... Where are you all going to eat, by the way?
What we going to eat?
Where are you going to eat?
We going to have the turkey and all the trimmings.
And where? You got a big dining room?
Yes, at my house.
Oh, not there. It's going to be at yours. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yes, uh-huh.
Well, I'd like to hear from some of the other families about how they feel about getting all together at this time of year. And why aren't the men watching the football game? I want to know that, too.
Well, we want to watch ourselves on TV.
Well, I don't blame you. And I'd like to know what time you're going to sit down to dinner. As soon as this...
We're going to eat about 3.
How many people brought something? I'm sure you didn't cook it all yourself.
No, I didn't. Oh, quite a few of them brought covered dishes.
Yeah, which is your favorite? Which is your favorite dish? Which is the dish that you like making the most for them?
Oh, I love making cake, Italy cream cake, and bacon turkey.
Now, there was a Mrs. Gardner who was supposed to be there. She's 95 years old, and she couldn't make it this year?
She's 91. She wasn't feeling good today, and so she couldn't come. And that's my aunt.
And she's the oldest one of that clan now. And the clan goes down 7 generations.
That's right.
Well, I think it's fabulous, and I wish you a fantastic Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you.
And keep watching us.
Yeah, we will. And wish you have a happy Thanksgiving, too.
Well, thank you. We're having a lot of fun going around the country. We may come back to you later because you may want to ask some questions of some of the other people we've had on television. And if anybody in that family has a question to ask the people in Boston, in the motorcycle club or the farm in Nebraska, it'd be kind of fun for you people to exchange ideas and everything.
Yes.
Okay, so think of some good questions for some of the other people, and we'll get back to you.
All right.
Thank you.
And thank you.
And now we're going to Nebraska, and the family there. It's the Eklund family. Mr. Eklund, which are you? I can't see you too good. Which is Mr. Eklund? Hi, Mr. Eklund. Mark Eklund, Tony Eklund. How many generations have your family had the farm that you're on now?
All right, we've had it 4 generations.
4 generations. Have you always celebrated Thanksgiving on that farm, to your knowledge?
Not always. We kind of pass it around between the relation. One year we'll go to my wife's side, and the next year we'll go to my side.
And your family is, how many in the family now? How many generations in your family right now going?
Well, right here we have my son and his granddaughter, so I guess it'd be 3 generations here.
Where'd you all come from?
Well, I got a daughter that lives in Lincoln and a son-in-law.
No, I meant, where did the Eklunds originally come from?
Eklunds originated in Sweden. That's where they come from. My grandfather came over from Sweden at a young age.
And how big's the farm?
We have 240 acres here that we own, and we rent the rest.
And what do you do with the farm? What do you raise on it?
We'll raise soybeans and corn and alfalfa, and then we raise a lot of cattle.
Are you making any money this year?
No, we're not.
You're not?
Nope.
It's a bad year for farmers?
They were going backwards this year.
And it's all because of the high bank interest rates? And
bank interest rates is a big part of it. Expenses are very high, and our yields were down. We got hit by the drought this summer, but I've been through this before about 5 times in my life, and I think we'll weather this one too.
So do you consider it a good or bad Thanksgiving?
I consider it a good Thanksgiving. I always look forward to Thanksgiving. It's the one time of the year that you can give thanks to the Lord for all your blessings.
And you people are very laconic about one year to the next. One year things might go well, and the next year it might not go too well. So I guess when you live out there in those farms, you don't get too upset if one Thanksgiving isn't as good as the next, huh?
Well, you have to be thankful all the time. The Lord is an important part in our work, and what we do is average it out and hope it works.
Are you going to eat a turkey that you raised yourself, or are you did you buy the turkey that you're going to serve today?
No, we raised this turkey that we're going to eat today.
Did he become a good friend before you had to chop his head off?
We avoided that.
How'd you do that?
I tell you how. We just didn't get too attached to him. We treat him kind of like an extended friend, and then we hired a neighbor lady to take care of the turkey, so we just brought the thing home like we went from the store.
It's pretty hard if you get too close to it to want to chop its head off, huh?
That's right.
Okay. And we're going to have a break now, and we'll be back in a minute or two.
Go back to 1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And resolve at 2.
Of how they live. They'd rather be at home, naturally, but they make the best of it.
I'm the supervisor of Hallett Cottage. Edgewood's a program that's based on relationships between people, children and adults, adults and parents, parents and social workers. And the quality of the work depends on the quality of these relationships. And I really like working at Edgewood because it's a place that allows me to be myself.
The history of Edgewood is really a fascinating and long one. It goes back to the gold rush days when a family of 5 or 6 arrived in San Francisco, and the children were left without their parents. Their parents died on the trip over here, and some established women in the community said we must find a foundling home for these children, an orphanage. During the early 1940s, it evolved into more or less a residential treatment center. The board of directors 15 years ago developed the current family-oriented program in which children are here 5 days a week in one unit and go home on weekends, and a 7-day program where the kids are here virtually all the time.
Do you want to go on a tour? I think so. It's somebody. Come on, Michelle. Hi. Hi, this is Kelly's room. They do something like checks. It's not really checks, but it's about what if you do something really good on Mondays, Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, you get a star and stuff like that. I go off to another public school, but they do special working here, and they have helpers around here to give them a little bit of work on their stuff. This is the Ag building. It stands for Middle Station building, where we have social work appointments and we have a whole bunch of appointments with the social workers. It's like a building for the counselors so they can have space.
I know, they're cute. Where'd you guys get them?
So what's going on there?
You made them in the shop. What a neat idea.
She's the secretary here. We come up and ask her for a social worker.
And you guys want to introduce Rose to us?
And then her name is Rose.
This right here is the wall, and when people get upset or something, they have tantrums, they sit on it to calm themselves down. Get out of the way, Michael! And the counselors usually just hang out down here, and this is where we sit around to talk.
Okay, Dorina.
My name is Dorina, and this is my roommate Teresa, and she's sick today. And this is my book about ballet.
I'm tired.
My name is Barbara, and this is Michelle.
Now, my name is Michelle, this is Barbara.
You talk to each other in sign language?
Give me a signal.
What did you just say?
We were talking about our dolls. Hello.
Get over here, you guys!
Okay.
Troy!
And now we're going to Nellis Air Force Base and talk to some of the people there that aren't home for Thanksgiving. Where are they? Kim?
Here we are in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Dining Hall number 2 at Nellis Air Force Base. Today, this dining hall will serve some 950 people who are part of the 10,000 airmen on the base. Right now, we'd like to meet just a few of them. Can I get your name and where you're from?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Senior Airman Richard Swanger from Ventura, California.
What is your job in the Air Force?
Firefighter.
Pardon?
Firefighter.
All right, let's move to our next gentleman here.
Airman Brian Glisson from 29 Palms, California.
Brian, how long have you been in the service?
About 5.5 months.
5.5 months is not very long. What were you doing last year on Thanksgiving?
Sitting down at a dinner table eating at home.
What, do you have any kind of favorite recollections of your Thanksgivings in the past?
It's just nothing quite as like this, but at home there's a lot of stuff on the table, but right here it seems like one big happy family thing. All this food and everything.
Are you finding it difficult to adjust at all, the Air Force life?
No, it's quite close to home here, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Do you get home very often?
We have the security police work on 6 days on, 3 days off, so whenever I can get a car, I go down.
Great, okay. Now we have an airman or air person, if you will. Can we get you to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm First Class Marla Loretta Rush from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
How long have you been in the service?
A year and a month.
And so you were in the service last year at Thanksgiving then?
Yeah, basic training.
So where were you stationed at that time?
Blackland Air Force Base in Texas.
Are you enjoying service life?
It's okay.
That's maybe not a fair question, but we ask it anyway. Well, we should let them get on with their meal, and maybe we can talk to a few other people. If you'd like to just go ahead and go on through. Mr. Buchwald, if you have any questions for any of these people, we'll stop them before they get off the camera.
Well, I'm curious to find out how they feel about being away from home. I guess two of them have been away from home now for 2 Thanksgivings. How do you feel about it?
Well, last year I was in Germany, and it was quite an experience, and the year before that also. And this year it's kind of new to be in the States, but it'd be nice to be home, but this is my home now, so my parents know where I'm at, and they know I'm fine, and I know they're all right, too, so everything's okay.
Do you live right here on the base?
No, ma'am, I live off base.
Is it a traditional Thanksgiving dinner going on there?
Yes, sir, it is.
And what is everybody going to do afterward?
I'm going back to finish my 24-hour shift.
24
Back to work.
Shift.
Probably about a tenth of the people on base today are still working, and the rest of them just coming on base to have their meals. Let's see, now you guys are working today, right?
She's not, I am. No,
okay. Mr. Buchwald was wondering how you felt about being away from home, if you miss being at home.
Yeah, I miss being at home a lot. I haven't been home in about a year, so.
What kinds of things did you do at your house on Thanksgiving? Maybe something a little different than this.
Well, my whole family went over to my grandmother's house for for Thanksgiving dinner. That's it.
Well, it's been nice to talk to you. Appreciate it very much. Let's see if we can get a word from some other people that we have here today. Looks like we've got another young lady. Could I ask you, are you in the service or are you a wife?
Neither one, and I'm not going to happen.
She's not at all anxious to be on television, so we'll give it another whirl. Just such gorgeous blonde hair, we thought would make her a star, but what can you say? Excuse me, can we ask you a question? Where are you from?
From St. Louis, Missouri.
How long have you been in the service?
2 years.
And where were you stationed last year at this time?
Here.
Here at Nellis? Is this, how do you feel about being in the Air Force on Thanksgiving Day? Does it bother you at all?
Yes, it does. She would like to be at home with my family.
Did they do something special or out of the ordinary? Okay. Well, we're going to join you next from the kitchens where you'll see some massive preparations going on to feed a group of this size. But we'll let these people get on with their meals, so it's back to you in Washington. Thank you.
Okay, and now we're going back to Tallahassee, Florida, and the Proctor family. 7 generations of Proctors.
Yes. Yes, I cooked collard greens and the jelly cake and baked the ham. And the way I cook my collard greens, I guess I may be different from anybody else because I take them and boil them first, the first water off them and empty it off, and then I take and put them in another water. And I like to cook in ham hocks and fat bacon, salted bacon. I like to cook that. That's a season I'm good with. And put about 4 pepper, this green pepper in them. And I think it's good. Agree? Everybody tell me they enjoy my collard greens, and everybody want me to cook collard greens, you know. And I have, church, go to church, and people have meat, and and then they want me to cook collard greens, and so everybody say they're good, and so everyone have me to cook collard greens. And I just enjoy,
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'd like to find... Oh. Where are you going?
We're going to go to Boston.
Okay.
We're going to Boston now, in fact.
Okay, we're now going to the motorcycle club in Boston. And how you doing there? Can I talk to the ladies a moment? Can I talk to some of the ladies a moment?
Yeah, get over there.
I want to know, this is a kind of a funny question to ask, but are the members of the motorcycle club, the women, liberated? Are you liberated women?
We're fighting for it. We're fighting for it.
You're fighting for it.
Yes.
Now, they made you do all the cooking, didn't they?
No, we had help from the men.
The men did help you?
Yes, Josh helped us.
Goddamn right we did.
And Cliff.
Are you eating off paper plates or are you eating off real plates?
With your bare hands.
With your bare hands. You're just going to rip that turkey apart with your bare hands? Or are you going to carve it?
We're going to carve it.
Over here.
Over here. We're going to carve it.
Swing the camera around.
Now, it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that after you have this marvelous turkey dinner and the table is cleared, you all get on your bikes and you go for a ride through Boston. Is that what happens?
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
And that won't disturb the turkey and everything that you just ate. Is that good for your digestion?
Sure is all the time. Biking's the best thing for anybody.
Well, that's great. What are you people drinking? Can I ask?
Wine and beer.
Wine and beer. Is this pre?
I'm drinking meteors and very expensive wine.
Very expensive wine. Is this before dinner?
Yes.
I mean, is this before you're eating that you're drinking the wine?
French wine.
French wine is the best. Compliments of squash. Thanks to squash here.
French beer.
Thanks to squash.
That is a fantastic wine. One other question. Does anybody want to tell us about their bikes, as long as we've got you on the...
I got this little jewel here. This is a 69 Carmen Gia in the back. These are some thrown away Freon tanks that you can't be refilled, but they throw them away. So everything's thrown away on this, it seems to be.
Right.
This is a fence post here, and this little jewel right in here came from a fence or a signpost in Cambridge. I can't really say where it came from because I'd be telling about myself. And everything else was like out of the one ads, and it's all homemade.
Well, let me ask you another question. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? Or what are the members of the club thankful for this Thanksgiving?
I don't know. As far as myself goes,
Life
we
is
could.
a kingdom of kicks. Wine, bikes, drugs, and chicks.
I didn't hear that, thank goodness. What are you thankful for?
Being together.
Being together. Brotherhood.
We're thankful we ain't lost anybody yet this year. Life is a kingdom of kicks. Wine, bikes, drugs, and chicks. That's all. That's it. Period.
But you are family. This is your family right there. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is us.
This is family. Now, what about your real families? Where are they? I mean, your fathers, your mothers, your brothers and sisters. Are they not part of your family anymore?
No, they're at home watching us.
Oh, they're at home watching you. Are they disowning you, or are they taking credit for you if they're home?
Disowning.
Taking credit. Taking credit.
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll be back to you again, I hope.
Okay.
And now we're going to San Francisco live, and it's the Edgewood Children's Home.
Is that a walkie-talkie? Radio?
I'm sinking, my heels are sinking into the dirt here. Let's take it into the house.
You got a couple.
You can't even see.
Oh. You see that? What am I gonna do?
That's my job.
Oh.
Mom, that's how you don't see me.
Oh, you did? Oh.
I'm not
Get some cookies off there.
Oh, I'm not good at this.
What is it?
No, you gotta put them in a certain way.
Oh, like you're fixing it?
Okay. On this holiday, everyone pitches in to prepare the banquet for this tradition at Edgewood. Counselors, parents, children, and staff are all in the act.
Thank you.
Turkey? No, sir. There should be a turkey. There should be a turkey.
Pickles.
Put some pickles. Where's the turkey? We don't have a turkey.
It's on its way, I believe. It's in the other kitchen.
It's right across the street.
I hope not.
I can see the turkey on television right now.
Okay, we're now at the Myopia Hunt Club, and they seem to be still looking for their scent. Not for their fox, for their scent, because they are not hunting a fox. I'm not much on fox hunting myself. I don't like to see the foxes caught. And the Myopia Hunt Club does not look for foxes. They just set up a scent and give the dogs and everybody a ride in the morning before they have their Thanksgiving dinner. Here come the dogs.
This is a plausible start point here.
Let's go to, over on that monitor over there is Neil Air, and he'd like to talk to you.
Neil?
Put one on,
Yep.
Neil?
No, you're going to be on the other side. Terry's going to be sitting there.
You want to let the table down?
Maybe just a cut here. Right here.
What? Let the table down.
I'm going to talk to Neil Air in a minute. Neil, Neil, can you hear me in Washington?
I can hear you fine, Art.
Oh, that's
Happy
great.
Thanksgiving to you.
Listen, tell us a little about this Thanksgiving Day tradition, which apparently goes back 100 years of fox hunting on Thanksgiving morning.
Well, this is the 98th year consecutively that my hunt club has celebrated Thanksgiving with a hunt, and we're one of about, perhaps some 150 hunts throughout the country that are doing this very same thing.
It's about 20,000 people out hunting this morning?
Probably about 15 to 20,000 people in the United States and Canada, I would say, yes.
That's almost as many as joggers that were out this morning. Maybe.
Yes, I think that's probably so.
But I'm very interested in the fact that the dogs, you people get dressed up in those beautiful outfits, you get on your horses, and you're not that interested in the fox. You're interested in the whole spirit of the chase and just getting out in the morning and having a real workout. Is that correct?
Well, I think there are a lot of things to look forward to in hunting. I think the primary interest is watching the hounds hunt, and for the members of the field who are following, of course, they're riding their horses. They've been training throughout the year, and they like to see how well they go and how well they jump the fences and the like. But there's a real spirit of cheer and merriment and holiday spirit to the whole thing. There really is.
Now, is it true that you guys used to be known as very snooty fellows, but is it true that anybody can join your hunt who has a horse?
Oh, yes. Yes, we had 130 people out this morning, and of course the Thanksgiving hunt is the most popular of the year. We typically have, closer to 40 or 50, but we welcome on Thanksgiving Day any man, woman, or child, and we have a lot of children, a lot of youngsters out on ponies who have a horse or a pony and who'd like to join us to ride across country and celebrate as part of this traditional Thanksgiving hunt.
Now, this obviously isn't a spectator sport, but do some of the people come along in cars and just follow you?
Well, we had an enormous car following this morning. I'd hesitate to make a guess, but I suppose we had 400 or 500 people out watching the horses and the hounds gallop across country. We covered about 14 miles, and we were followed the whole way by people in automobiles going down the highways and seeing us where they could as we came out into the open close to the highways.
And now you go to your own Thanksgiving dinners, or do you all gather together, the 130 of you, and have a turkey together?
Well, in the old days, it was more or less traditional for all of those who hunted to gather for a hunt breakfast after the hunt, but now that seems to have given way to families going home and celebrating their own Thanksgiving in their own home. So we've substituted the traditional hunt breakfast with refreshments during the middle of the hunt. One of the generous landowners over whose property we ride provided the horses with apples and the hounds with biscuits and the riders with cider and donuts and cookies and the like, and that gave everybody an opportunity to gather and eat a little something and drink a little something and exchange Thanksgiving greetings the one to the other.
Well, thanks a lot, and we may get back to you, and we were delighted to see that beautiful ride, and we're glad that no fox got killed this morning.
No, we didn't chase a fox. We had a perfectly lovely morning, and no one was hurt.
Thank you.
What's now you want to take two?
What's going on now?
We have a turkey. Can we bring the turkey, please? The turkey over there. We just want you to see this.
What's going on? Oh, turkey.
Oh, well, you said you don't like turkey.
But I'm gonna where we can see it. Where we can all see it.
I'm gonna make you a great sandwich, though.
Huh?
Yeah, that's good. What are you gonna do with that turkey?
I didn't know. Oh, God. I hate turkey. I forgot to tell you.
Well, I'm gonna make you a great sandwich with a little mayo, a little mustard.
No, I really do like turkey, and I'll have some
I'll give you the moist
afterward.
part.
You know, the Proctor's turkey dinner looked about as good as any I've seen. I think we ought to have a contest to see who turned out the best turkey dinner. And the Proctors in Edgewood and the Myopia Hunt Club and the one at Nellis and even the Motorcycle Club. Let's look at everybody serving their turkey dinners. Oh, they've got quite a spread there in Myopia. I mean, not Myopia, that's gas station turkey dinner. Nebraska hasn't sat down to their dinner yet.
Yeah, you want that lifter?
All right, somebody want to drag up some more chairs here?
Mike Pritchett.
Pardon me, darling.
And now we're going to the Edgewood Children's Home in San Francisco, and we're going to have comedian Mike Pritchett entertain the Halleck Heroes +2.
Oh, look! No. Hi. Ooh. Oh. I like doggies. I like dogs. Sit down, big boy.
Ooh. Hey, you know, I used to always get in trouble for doing these crazy things, you know? Like, I used to make these faces. My mom would say, "Oh, for God's sake, don't make that face like that. Someday your face is gonna freeze that way." And I would do frogs, you know. Reddit. I used to do that to teachers. And then I would do turtles. I like walking around downtown San Francisco like a turtle. And you ever see the guy who ran into the wall?
I was going down Geary Avenue, and I ran into a big wall.
And I do munchkins. I like to walk up behind people and do munchkins.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
And I like to do crazy things, you know, like Disco Dick Nixon. Staying alive, staying alive. Yeah. And then, you know, I was one of those little kids. I always used to get in trouble. My mom would yell at me, and I was a little fat kid, you know. I'm so fat, my mom has to butter my hips to get me in the bathtub. I fell over in downtown San Francisco when a taxi driver ran out of gas trying to drive around me. When you're a little fat kid, you can't play hide and seek. You can only play seek, because you can't hide anywhere. And my brothers used to always find me, because I'd be breathing real hard behind the evergreen bushes. How'd you guys find me?
Well, we followed the sweat marks from your sneakers, fatso.
They used to pick on me, and I used to do crazy stuff and make sounds and stuff, you know, like... Look, boss, the plane. And Tarzan, I like going into places and going Tarzan and the elephants. Are you ready?
You played yourself, done it again.
Those, and I like doing this. Crazy noises. I like to play guns with I go down to the park to play guns with guys, and they always go, "Hey, Mike, you wanna play guns?" I go, "Sure, let's play guns."
Hey, I will shoot you first.
Okay, go ahead, you start. And I always go, "Vee, vee." I used to do those crazy things, you know, it was nice. And then, you know what I like to do is just go crazy and do things like in Play-Doh Man. You want to see this? Watch this. This is the man who blows himself up.
Are you ready? You're gonna laugh. So it's funny.
Thank you. Oh, well, I had fun, you know. See you guys, and I'll be staying around.
All right.
Yeah, I heard there was a song we were gonna sing here.
Okay.
Well, I'm here. Okay.
This is a song for Palette Group in general. Come on up to the pro.
All right. Who's gonna sing, you guys?
Hey.
You gonna sing?
No.
What's up?
So you guys all have this little sheets with
What's happening?
Did they turn off that mic?
No, it's still on.
To make sure we're in tune here.
Yeah. That's all right. Right up here.
Okay. How about a name? How about a name? Okay. Are you ready? Two. Well, way down along by Sandy, down by Sturgeon Grove, way back up on the hill where the good time flows, stands a cottage made of mud and stone, where little valley heroes to the edge of the road, all learning how to get along real well, just by looking at us now you can see. So go, Alec, go, go. Go,
Let's hear it, yeah. Go, Alex, go. Go. Go, Alex, go. Go.
And now we're going to hear Grace, said by 3 different families.
First one's Boston.
Thank you.
First one's Boston.
Okay, here we go, and take the Boston. Go, Boston.
All right, everybody pull up your seats here, gather around, and behold how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in peace. Now for Grace. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the
Yeah, we thank you for it right now, Master.
Thank you, Jesus.
And, oh, Father, bless all families today on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Hold them in the hollow of thy hand. And, oh, Father, bless us in the way that you see fit to bless us.
Yeah.
We ask these blessings in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay then, good bread, good meat, good God, chillin' let's eat.
Okay. All right.
All right, we ready? Yeah, they're carving this one. Okay, here we go. Panning on the knife. Here we go. All right, there you go. Ah! Ah!
All right, now you want me to go?
Looks great. Oh, my favorite. Thank you.
Okay. Shirley, no Shirley. Shirley. Shirley, you want to sit right here? Shirley, where's Shirley? Shirley, give me
Yeah.
Thank you all.
There we go. All right.
Okay, let's go to Las Vegas and talk to the chef there. How many turkeys did you cook today?
Cooked approximately 22.
22 turkeys?
Right.
Any complaints so far?
Oh, everybody's really enjoying themselves. They really like it.
Do you
we really did a good job.
Do you follow the regular recipe? Whose recipe do you use to cook turkey when you're in the Air Force?
146-12.
And suppose you violate 146-12, are you in a lot of trouble?
Well, not too much. As long as it comes out good.
And when are you going to have your Thanksgiving dinner?
When I get off, about 3 hours from now.
Is your wife going to cook it or are you going to cook it?
Well, hopefully she's got it cooked.
Oh, that's great. We're now going to go to Boston. I'd like to ask somebody in Boston. Boston, can you hear me?
Ain't got one.
Okay, in Boston, can you hear me now?
Hey!
All right, I got a question. Wait a minute, hold it a minute.
We're working on it.
Hold it. Do you have a question you'd like to ask the Eklunds in Nebraska or some of the other people that have been on today?
I'd just kind of like to say hello to all of those guys out there protecting the peace. All of the guys in that bomb wing there, I'd like to say hello and thanks. And because of your diligent efforts, we can sit here and enjoy a meal knowing the communists are kept in their place.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Mrs. Eklund.
Yes.
Mrs. Eklund, would you like to ask the Proctors anything? They seem to be having more of a traditional dinner than the other families. The Proctors and you are having the traditional Thanksgiving dinner. Would you like to ask the Proctors a question? Is there anything that crossed your mind about the Proctors you'd like to ask them?
What are the things that you have every year at your Thanksgiving dinner?
Do we have this every year at Thanksgiving? We have a big dinner every year, but not this many.
Right. We are usually more people at our table, and due to the fact that we observe Thanksgiving with all of my family or all of Bernil's family.
I'd like to ask the proctors a question. Did you buy the turkey or did you raise it and kill it yourselves?
I bought the turkey.
Oh, do you mind me asking you how much the turkey cost? I'm very curious about how much it cost in Tallahassee, a turkey.
About $16 and something.
About how much is that a pound?
Oh, what in the world you asked me that for?
I'm sorry about that. I'd like to ask the...
They're 98 cents a pound, 99.
Mrs. Eklund, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
How much would your turkey cost in Nebraska if you bought it in a store? Let's say a 16-pound turkey.
A 16-pound turkey?
Yeah, the Proctors paid $16 for theirs. How much would yours cost?
Well, about $1 a pound. I'm not sure. I didn't really look at the prices this year because we had our own here at home too.
Now, I heard on a show this morning that a Thanksgiving Day dinner is about 21% more expensive than one last year. Did you feel that, Mrs. Proctor, that it was much more expensive this year than in previous years to buy a Thanksgiving Day dinner?
I didn't understand you.
I hear that the dinners have gone up this year for Thanksgiving. Did you find that it cost a lot more this year to hold your Thanksgiving Day dinner than in previous years?
Well, no, not exactly, because a lot of family here, and all the family brought covered dishes. And so I didn't have to pay out no more money than usual.
Oh, that's good. Can we talk to the people in San Francisco at the school? Who am I talking to there? San Francisco? Can you hear me?
Yes, they're asking.
Hello, San Francisco.
What are they asking us? Saying San Francisco, can you
Can I hear you in
What do they want?
In San Francisco?
That's
right. All right. Let's go back to Boston.
Bunny, you don't think so?
Boston, can you hear me?
Hello! Hi there!
How you doing? I want to know.
Hey, you know.
I want to know how much your Thanksgiving turkey cost this year. Do you have any idea?
Let's just say it was free.
Yeah, I'd like to know how you got that turkey. Do you mind telling us?
Well, in all honesty, I have to say that the large one came from my boss, who gives out turkeys at Thanksgiving, and it's a monster. It's like 23.5 pounds. And, you know, we told him what we were going to do with it, and I guess he grabbed the big one and saved it for us, man.
Well, who's your boss? We might as well give him some credit for that.
That's Will LeDuc of Profile Engineering in Waltham, Massachusetts. It's a machine shop, and yeah, let's hear it for the Duke, man, yeah.
Well, I hope he's...
The boss, he's all right, man, let me tell you.
All right, let me ask you one other question.
Sure.
We're getting near the time, and I'd just like to ask one question.
Sure, go ahead.
Like this? If you had one wish on a Thanksgiving Day, because we got to get a little sentimental about it, what would that wish be?
I wish I lived to see the next one.
Well...
I wish that everybody here makes it to the next one. You know, we take it a day at a time and then a year at a time. And if I see everybody who's here today, here next year, I'll be real happy about it.
That's pretty good wishing.
I really would. That about covers it.
Okay, Art, is somebody who wants to say...
That's about it. You know, the mortality rate...
In Meade, Nebraska, there's a young lady that wants to say Happy Thanksgiving to us. Is there someone there that I could ask?
Can you say hi, Brooke?
Say hi, Grandma.
Can you say hi?
Mrs. Eklund?
Yes?
Could you ask, you have a youngster there, don't you? Or besides this one at the table? Is there a youngster there?
Well, our youngest daughter is Beth, but she's 15. She's sophomore in high school.
Okay, Beth, what's your wish for Thanksgiving if you had any wish in the world this Thanksgiving?
They're asking Beth, what is your wish you would want to wish the most for Thanksgiving? If you had any wish in the world.
Just that everyone be happy.
That's great. And would any of you people like to talk to any of the other people in the different places where we're celebrating Thanksgiving now?
Would anyone here like to talk to the people where they're celebrating Thanksgiving?
I think that, okay, if you don't want to answer anything, I want you to note one thing, which I think is a first, and that is a master of the hounds is eating with the motorcycle gang in the Last Gas Motorcycle Club in Boston in a garage. And I think that's a pretty good way to see America, to see the master of the hounds eating with the motorcycle club. How does it feel eating with the motorcycle club?
Well, it really feels absolutely super. It's a good meal, very genial gang, and we're having a good time, and I'm glad to be here.
They're not offering to go on a fox hunt on their motorcycles, are they?
I couldn't ride a motorcycle. I've never tried that.
We can't ride a horse.
Promise the gal over here some spurs. I'll get those to her a little later on. Before Christmas, I promise.
Okay. And now we're going to San Francisco, where the Edgewood Children's Home. Who am I talking to?
How about a toast to mothers?
In general.
Okay. Right. I'd like to ask that young man there what he'd like for Thanksgiving. Of all the things, if he could think of anything for Thanksgiving, what would you like the most?
Vegetables.
What'd he say? Vegetables. Don't you like turkey?
No.
Oh, you don't like turkey? Well, eat it and pretend you do anyway. Okay, well, pass that thing around to somebody else. I'd like to talk to some of the other kids there. Pass it to one of your buddies.
Pass it to somebody.
Okay.
Barbara, take it. Barbara.
All right. Barbara?
Hey, Bruce Springsteen. To the klutz, okay. Hello.
Barbara, what's your wish for Thanksgiving at a time like this? If you had one wish of all wishes.
One wish for all wishes. Well, I wish that everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving here and has a wonderful home next year to go to for Thanksgiving.
Now, your idea is to get all these children back into their homes by next Thanksgiving. We don't want to see them there next year. Is that the idea?
That's right. That's right.
Well, I think that's a great wish, too.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
Next.
Who's next? Mike Richard? Go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are you?
We're fine. Would you like to say how you feel about having Thanksgiving at the Edgewood Children's Home?
Sure, I'd like to say that it's really gratifying to me to see as many people realize that the pocketbook is not as important as the heart, and that's why they do social work. Thank God for people like them. And I'm very grateful that I can spend my time here on Thanksgiving with the kids.
Didn't you work at a children's home yourself?
I still do.
You work in a children's home with kids?
Now the elephant.
Yes, I do. I still do. I work at Juvenile Hall here in San Francisco.
And what are the kids in juvenile home doing on Thanksgiving? Are they having one too?
They're essentially doing the same thing. I'm going to go be up there in about an hour or two and talk to the kids up there too. It's just really great to be with the kids on Thanksgiving because we all have something to be thankful for. We're alive and healthy and having a good time.
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. And now, almost as a finale, the Last Gas Motorcycle Club are going to take us on a ride through Boston. Watch out, Boston.
That's the wrong color.
Wait a minute. Hey, fellas.
All right, there we go.
All right, wait a minute. Let me announce what you're going to do. You're going to toast all the families that are on television
Well, not only
right now.
Not only are we going to toast Florida and Nevada and Nebraska and San Fran and everybody else, but we're going to toast all the people that were involved in putting it together. And I would also like to propose a toast to America. May it someday be the country it was cut out to be.
Florida. Can I talk to the proctors?
Yeah.
Can the proctors hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we're right here.
How about a little toast from somebody in your group? A little toast for Thanksgiving from your group.
All right, Reverend Proctor, go talk.
Reverend Proctor, how about giving us a little toast?
I want to toast in the absence of my father, which would have been greatly appreciated for Thanksgiving Day today. But God bless the day, he's going on to glory now, so we're going to eat in his place.
That's wonderful. And Mr. Eklund in Nebraska, would you give us a little toast for the people on Thanksgiving in your own words?
You bet, Art.
Friends and a good life in Nebraska.
You bet.
Good life.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And Las Vegas. Is there anybody in Las Vegas who can give us a toast?
I think I can give you a toast from Las Vegas.
I'd appreciate that.
I heard your toast before, Miss Buchwald, about may America be the country that it's supposed to be, but I think we already are. So here's a toast to the United States as it is and always will be, the best place there is.
Thank you very much from Las Vegas. And now from Eklund, from Edgerton, San Francisco. Can someone give us a toast there?
Just trying to be Earl Flynn here.
Can we get a toast?
Okay, can I have everybody's attention? Because I'd like to propose a toast. To all the kids at Edgewood and all the kids everywhere, may they have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. We hope you've enjoyed this program as much as we have trying to create it. For all our guests and for the producers and the staff of America at Thanksgiving 1980, this is Art Buchwald wishing you a happy Thanksgiving and a very peaceful, peaceful New Year and a great afternoon. Goodbye, Tallahassee. Goodbye, Boston. Goodbye, Nevada. Goodbye, San Francisco. Goodbye, Nebraska, and we hope you have a wonderful time.
for this program was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation.